I see we're live. Thank you. Lovely.
Thank you, Sue. That was my last
Pleasure.
class. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye. Right. Welcome to live streaming. We will be starting in about 4 minutes and we will be working with toilet rolls. We just toss them in the bin. But there are so many things that you can do with your toilet rolls. So today we're going to find out some of the most amazing things for not only children, but also for adults. I hope you're going to enjoy it. Grab a cup of coffee and join us in 5 minutes. Hi, welcome everyone. Lovely to have you all in class. It's great to, Donna, you're back. Lovely to have you back again. Marsha, nice to have you back as well. And Patty, lovely to have you all in class. There are going to be quite a few more people coming in. Here comes Peggy now. And so we have a variety of, and Lester. Hi, Lester. Lester is my TA. He comes in to help with anything that we were. Are you still awake, Donna? Great. Because it's late. It's 12 o'clock. So it is late. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
12
why
hours.
The camera is not on.
No, I quite understand that. All right. Let me just make Lester the co-host so he can do things in the background for me. Lester is wonderful. He's been with, oops, I think I made you the host instead of the co-host. Let me just co-host you more co-host. There we go. Yeah. Right. Now, oops. And so we are all going to have some fun. I have been spending the last couple of afternoons making some of the things that I have been promising myself I would make as my examples. Mumsy. Hello, Mumsy. I see you've joined us as well. Excellent. Great to have you, a South African, joining us as well. Right. Let's see. Anybody who would like to let us know where they are from and kind of what they think they're going to get out of the class, what they would like to get, please feel free to tell me. You can either press your space bar to talk and then lift it when you finish talking, or just unmute yourself to chat. Who would like to?
I'm Peggy and I'm from Kansas City.
Oh, lovely.
And I just like to I've saved a bunch of toilet paper rolls and wrapping paper rolls, and it's just a quick way to make some cute little gifts.
Oh, absolutely. And there are some lovely ideas today that are coming up. So I hope you're going to be able to make things. Anybody else?
I did hear something that was concerning. My cousin said you should not be using toilet paper rolls because they have germs on them because they're in the bathroom. I know.
If you're going to be that worried, you get those 100% sprays that you can spray your toilet roll with before you start.
It's what my cousin said, but
well, then you shouldn't be using soap. You shouldn't be using your creams. You shouldn't be using your makeup.
Yes, you're right.
Wow.
You're right. Yes, that's right. So I guess I'll tell her to mind her own business.
When she gets something beautiful from you and she says, wow, this is incredible and I'm going to use it, then you can turn around and say, well,
no, she told me
if she gets
from me, she will not touch it.
Oh, goodness gracious me. Then she's not worth having. We have made amazing things. Yes, Marsha.
Well, I was going to say, I make a lot of things with toilet paper rolls, and I was very distraught to see that some products like Scott was trying to do away with toilet paper rolls by constructing the inside of them in a star shape so that it wouldn't, because apparently there are enough toilet paper rolls to go to the moon and back if you looked at the paper that's consumed. But I think they're so great. But I will say there are some school systems here that will not let us use them for the very reason that Peggy said.
Goodness gracious. You know, I've used them at school all my life. If I had to think about something like that, there are so many things. There are germs everywhere. Yes, everywhere you look, everywhere you turn. You know, you've got to draw a line somewhere. And if you are worried, you just spray with these antibacterial sprays that we've got around all the time. You spray it with that.
I do a lot of volunteer work at nursing homes, and one of the nursing homes said we can't bring them in anymore. the toilet paper. But what you can do is take paper towel rolls and cut them in half, and wrapping paper rolls and cut them down.
Of
So you
course,
can
of
actually
course.
do those, if they won't let you do those. I mean, if they won't let you, they won't let you. It's not,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't argue with them.
No, they have, everybody has a right to their own thing. But if you take in those long rolls and you've cut them, you can hardly tell the difference between that and a toilet paper roll. They look the same.
That's
So,
what
where are they going to come up with a line? But thank you so much for letting me know that. That fortunately in Australia, toilet rolls are used for everything. People are not into that. Thanks. My husband is going out and left the front door open for the dogs to get in and out so that he can take the car out of the back where I am. Right. He's just finished his class, and so we swap classes. He's just done one on Instagram. I think it was he was doing now. Right, let's see. We're going to start. I'm going to share my screen and we will see what we can create today. Right, we have some lovely ideas coming up, both for us and for children. It's so nice that you can share your ideas with both children and adult ideas. There are some really beautiful adult ideas coming up together with the children ones. We learn from each other, so please, all your ideas. I love getting people's ideas, trying them out, seeing if I can use them as well. So I learn just as much as anybody else in the classes. It's lovely if there are some cameras on. If they're not, it's not a problem. If you can just interact so that I know people are there and they haven't dozed off in class. I don't blame you if you do. It's midnight. Last night I stayed up for something after midnight. I normally go to bed round about midnight, but I had to stay up for it. And I was so keen to sort of just crash quietly. If you're joining by live streaming, the best way to participate is to join and register for a class so that you can actually participate in the class. And Get Set Up is not paid to promote any product. So a little about me. I live in Perth, Australia. I've been an educator for 44 years, from the smallest children right up to adults. And during that time, I have been able to come up and learn so many ideas from others, from research, from Pinterest. Pinterest has the most amazing array of things. And so there are so many things that you can make from them. I also have a great love of animals. I love making things, including puzzles. My favorite years of teaching were teaching children technology, not IT, learning how things work. Why do we taste? How does that door open? Or how do I launch a rocket? All these sort of things. And so I want to pass those on to people so that they can use them with their grandchildren and have such fun. I also enjoy being a Get Set Up guide. So let's begin. We have got simple ideas today using toilet rolls. The most you need are scissors, glue gun, paper, crayons, markers, of course, your toilet rolls, and any little things you can find, beads and buttons and little letters and so on. Just looking at the one at the top is a toilet roll with some very pretty shiny paper around it, sliced down at the back so you can open it, put it on the arm, and you're a superhero. Whoops, you're a superhero. I'm on my way. Or we put our initials on it. You can get lots of sticky initials and they can stick their initials on it. Makes it fun for them, makes it interesting. All it is, one toilet roll, half a toilet roll. At the end, we will learn how to do a box, which is so easy to put something small into if you're going to visit a friend, if you're having just anything that you want to give someone that's small and you don't want to put it in a gift bag. This is the way to do it. So let's continue. Some of the things we're going to be covering are under the sea, fairy homes, pirates and princesses, insects, animals, including dinosaurs, and space. Those are the things that we're going to do with the children. For adults, we're going to do murals, mirrors, flowers, and gift boxes. So there are lots of things for both young and old in the class. The first thing we've got here, of course, are the little fairy houses. There's my little fairy home. And all I've done is just need to put my finger in through the door, press the button, and now I have a little fairy house with lights on inside. And I've got a little gnome that I put next to him. I forgot to bring the gnome through, but I have a gnome, and he goes and he can be in there, or a fairy can be in there, and you've got your fairy home. So simple to make. Children decorate the outside. I cut the circles for them just because it's harder to cut. The circle, they just put a little piece of paper inside to make the little crossbars rather than trying to cut out tiny crossbars. And then you can use material on the top, or I've just used paper with a few little soft balls on top and a nice shiny one for the roof.
What are you
So
using
simple.
for a base?
This is actually you buy them at the hardware store, lights that switch on and off.
Oh,
They're simple lights, and then it's easy to light up. Put your finger in, light up the house.
What are those called? What are those things called?
These touch lights.
That's what they're called? Touch lights?
Touch
Are they
lights.
expensive? Are they expensive?
No, not at all. I think
How
I got
much?
4 or 6 in a pack. They were about $3, $2, $3 per each. They're not expensive, and they're
And they're
so
battery,
easy.
they're battery
Yeah,
operated?
battery operated, quite safe for children to have, battery operated. Also useful when the lights go out for yourself. You just press on it and up it comes. We had them in South Africa, and I found them in Australia as well. Touch lights. You just ask for touch lights and you get them. You get smaller ones, bigger ones. They come in different sizes. And then I just put that underneath, and that then makes for a beautiful little lit up fairy house.
It's really cute.
It is cute, isn't it? I was doing this yesterday. I was having fun. I've been playing in my garden as well. We've only got a small garden. We've been redoing it, and we're introducing a gnome theme. And I've got gnomes in different places around the garden. It's going to take a few months to get where we want to be, but we are certainly on the way with it. So that is our start, is a little fairy home. And the sky's the limit with that. The children decorate it, paint it. If you are painting your toilet rolls, the best way to paint them is not with a paintbrush, is to paint them with a sponge. It gives them a texture, and it's very easy to just sponge it on. I use or they're cream cheese containers. They're sort of oval, or any kind of container, to just put a little bit of paint in, and can have a lid on afterwards so it doesn't go dry, and then the children can use it, and it's so easy to just squeeze out the sponge to clean it afterwards, and it's ready for use again. If you're painting with children, instead of using aprons that only cover the front of them or part of the front, use a dustbin bag. They don't really like the black ones. They prefer white or green ones. You just, where it's sealed at the top, cut a hole big enough for the head with a little slit down the back so it fits over, and 2 armholes. Now they're covered from the shoulders to the toes. They can make as much mess as they want. Take it, stick it in some soapy water, hang it on the line, and they are ready to use again. Simple, easy, quick. And if they rub their hands on their backs, which they so often do, there's plastic there too, and not on the clothes. So that you can use material. I don't know if in America you have the same. We have stores where you can buy material by the roll, but you can also buy little packs of different colored material. They're just probably 50 centimeters by 50, small pieces, lots of different colors, lots of different designs, and then you can cut it up and use it. You can use felt, you can use all sorts of materials to make your roof. So just keep all your scraps. They have such fun putting them together. All right. Any questions? Any thoughts? Aha, Marsha's taken her photo. All right. Now, often children choose to have a theme. They are fairies at the moment, or they're mermaids, or they are witches and wizards and butterflies and bugs and beetles and pirates and oh, you name it. If they are in that phase, use your toilet rolls to create things that fit with the theme that they are interested in at the moment. So if we look at the fishy theme, you can make many different types of fish. As long as you've got your Google eyes to help you bring it alive. Here's my little fish, and he's got his tail and his open mouth. He's an open mouth fish, and he is easy to make. Just bit of paper over my toilet roll. In fact, I would paint the toilet roll. It's easier. And then just pop some paper in the back for the tail and the two little fins. Very simple, very quick. And then all their fish can talk to each other. If they've got 2 fish or 3 fish, they then either have their own conversation, or you have a conversation with them, or they have a conversation with their friends or whoever's with them. If you want to get a little bit more fancy, then you would cut your toilet roll, pushing the front in just so that you can make a mouth. I'll show you how to do that now. Cut a tail, and I put a little bit of glue on my tail, and I took what I had cut off the tail to make my fins. And then I just got some shiny beads, or they're flat beads actually. They were about $2 at what our equivalent to your dollar store, all different shapes, all different designs, and stuck those on as the scales. Made a beautiful shiny fish. And they really enjoy playing with their shiny fish. Yes, Marsha?
I was going to say, I brought a necklace that I made out of fish.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Marsha always makes amazing things. That's beautiful, Marsha. Wow.
And I painted it with old nail polish. And I made I'm just showing this because I put it on a onion bag net to make the necklace to pay, to suspend them.
What a
And then I just
clever
use wool for the eyes and stuff like that. I don't know if you can see it, but
I can. That is amazing.
anyway,
Wow.
it's really fun to wear. I wear it, and the kids love to wear it too. But
Of course.
And then I just cut the tails so that they're sort of like fins.
Yeah, so that you fan them out.
That's a fish necklace, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
And it's made for using it for a necklace. How do you make it last if it's made out of paper?
Well,
it's toilet rolls.
Yeah, but I mean, don't they disintegrate?
Well, not if you don't wear it in the rain. I spray it afterward with a sealer, a lacquer sealer, and I mean I wear it over a turtleneck or whatever. And
how long did that take you to make?
Not really very long. I did this. This is the outline of the fish.
How cute!
And then when you cut it out, it looks like that. But then I made.
That's adorable.
And
it's amazing.
Really neat.
That's it. You literally just cut out these little parts and then leave the rest attached so it stays together. This is obviously a little simple one, but it really maybe 10 minutes each. I don't know what to tell you.
You could sell those.
I do.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You sell them?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Where do you sell them?
Well, I live on a lake in New Hampshire and in New York City, and people in New York City like interesting things. So
cool. So do you sell them at craft fairs?
Yeah, friends, or I go to groups that exchange.
That's very cool.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I just wanted
No,
to show
no,
you.
no, Marsha, I am delighted. This is what it's all about.
Yeah,
It's
it
all
is.
about sharing our ideas. So no, please don't feel sorry. It's awesome.
Yeah, I
It's
think they're really,
great that
I
you
mean, it's just 3 of them, and it's enough to make a statement, you know, if you don't need to make a
absolutely
whole necklace full of them.
just the front to show on the front. That is
Yeah, just some,
awesome.
yeah. Anyway, when I saw your
Thank-
fish, I had to show you mine.
Yes, please. And this is what it's all about. I'm delighted. You can also make a whale or not quite a dolphin, more of a whale. Again, a toilet roll and just cut a little piece. The picture is a narwhal. I decided to change it to a whale and made myself a little whale. He's just got a piece of paper in the front to close off the end and some nice shiny paper on to give him a glittery look. You can also make, oops, find a place to put that one. You can make your octopus, lovely little octopus, very easy, just cutting your pieces. And of course, an octopus has 8 legs, so it's very easy. You squash the end and you cut it evenly. So there's 4 on either side of it, and it gives you your 8 legs. So it makes it very easy for the children to make 8 legs. I again put some shiny things on it to make it interesting. And there is my little octopus. You also can make sharks, you can make crabs, you can also use your toilet roll by cutting it like that, just cutting a piece off the ends at the back and squashing in the front to make the mouth of your fish. And so you've got your mouth of your fish. This is an incomplete fish. This is just showing how your fish can be created. But the sky's the limit. You can play around with them.
Excuse me, but do you paint it before you cut it, or is it better to cut it and then paint it?
I paint it first and then I cut it and I touch up anything that's not quite where
Okay,
it
so
should
you,
be.
you do paint before you cut. Okay.
Much easier to paint before you cut. And then if anything needs a bit of a touch up, then I touch up afterwards. So here are just a few, and of course, little girls like to be mermaids. So you can make the little mermaid with her little hair and her pretty skirt, or give her a tail. You can do a variety of things for the girls who want that. We will talk about pirates just now for the boys. Here's the pirates for you at the bottom. Using your toilet roll again, you can create all sorts of creatures and all sorts of families. You can have mom, dad, granny, grandpa, auntie, cousin. You can have a whole lot of little ballerinas. You can have some of the famous characters, some Batman and Spider-Man and so on. The children can just put them all together. Now, hopefully we'll still have toilet rolls in December, because in October, I want to do a workshop on all sorts of things using a variety of create from waste things to do a Christmas theme. So I'm already gathering a whole lot of ideas for that. So we'll use clothes pegs, we'll use popsicle sticks, we'll use toilet rolls, we'll use an array of things to make things for this. So hopefully that will still be able to be done. Otherwise, we're going to just have to use your roller towel rolls, lots and lots of roller towel rolls to create what we want to make. Right. So these are whatever they want. Somebody will wear glasses, somebody won't. Somebody will be a character from a movie that they are watching at the moment. They choose who and what they would like to make. Give them an option of paint or material. So that and then they design it. Once they are sort of 6, 7 years old, they can actually design it before they make it. They can do a little drawing of what they want to do. Then from there, they plan. I teach them from young that you plan. You can't make a cake without following a recipe. You can't just take the empty pan, stick it in the oven and expect a cake. It's not going to happen. So instead of that, I get them to say step by step, I need my toilet roll. What am I going to do with my toilet roll? Oh, I need to paint my toilet roll. Right. What color do you want to paint your toilet roll? I want to paint it. And so you work through with them and they start getting ideas and they say, oh no, that won't work. Let me think of something different. And they then think of something else. And so they work through. And if it doesn't work first time, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't look like what you think it should look like, it doesn't matter. It really is their creations, and that's what's important.
For the pirate, what did you use for the pirate hat? Like the one with the skull?
What I did was I put some cotton wool at the top of, I don't know what you call it. We call it cotton wool.
Yeah.
These cotton, but a fair amount of it at the top to make the top of the head, and then I took a whole lot of wool, and in the middle I stitched it together. I actually stitched it together. I glued it first and then sort of stitched it to make quite sure it would stay at the top of the glue, and then added just a little bit over the top of that so that you couldn't see the glue any longer. And then I put a band round, and that made my pirate head, my top of my pirate head. So that wasn't part of the toilet roll.
What about the hat with the skull on it?
Oh, paper makes a wonderful one. Black paper.
Uh-huh.
You take a piece of black paper and fold it in half. You then cut the shape you want of your pirate hat and glue just around the edges of it, and then push it together like that. It makes the hole big enough to go over the head. It's very easy to do. It's lovely. You make it a lot bigger than the head because remember, it's got to come in and be able to accommodate the size of the head. Mm-hmm. So just don't make it the exact size because it's not going to fit. It's almost the size and a half to get it to fit exactly.
On those ballet girls, are those puppets that they can stick their fingers in?
Yes, they can certainly put their fingers in. When my girls want to do that, what I do is I put this is black, but I choose the color they're doing, the tape that you use for insulation tape. I put that inside and I cut I put it across, and then what I do is I just cut enough for them to be able to push their fingers through it. You don't want it to be too wide. And now it's a puppet.
So those are the only use for those is puppets, correct?
Yes, or as a decoration on a table. Some of them like it on their bedside table if they
those are very, very cute. They would have fun with those.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely, they do. And also, if they don't put their fingers too far up when they're doing this with the fingers, it looks like the legs are moving. They can't do too many ballet steps with it, but the legs look like they're walking as well. So it's a fun way of doing it. So yes, but if they want puppets, that's how I close off the bottom, enough for fingers to go through, and then they can make it into a puppet. Any other questions on this page? So lovely to have everybody interacting. It really is great. Right, now, and insects, animals, and so on. You don't have to use a toilet roll as a square. As a circle. You can turn your toilet roll into a square very easily by folding once in half that way, and then folding once in half the opposite way, and that gives you a perfect square. So now you've got a different shape for an animal. If you're wanting to make a hexagon like you've got for the spider, you would fold it flat, and then you would measure. It's 2.2 centimeters. So I'm not sure in inches what it is. That makes it go right across. You just take the measurement and divide it into 3 and put a little mark. And then following that mark, you then squeeze your roll and squeeze your roll again. That then gives you your hexagon. You then just undo it and find out which ones don't work. Now I've got a hexagon. And so I've made my spider. He doesn't look quite the same as that spider, but this is my little spider. He's a black and white spider, and he's got big, fluffy pipe cleaner legs and a little face and his 8 legs, and off he goes. That is my spider. He stands very nicely on the table when he's not being used. So he's a lot of fun to play with, just something different. So you've got your spider, you've got your bugs, your beetles, your butterflies. Butterflies, the girl, you learn symmetry, that what happens on one side happens on the other side. So symmetry is very important for that. And okay, sorry, there's a message from Mumsy. This looks very interesting. Hi, Sue. We'll show you images of items that are made with pegs, strings, sticks, shells, clocks, and I can't add pictures, but we'll show you on camera. That sounds fantastic, Mumsy. Can we do that at the end? I would really love to see that. Thank you.
Yes, fantastic, Sue.
Ah, lovely. That's awesome. And here is a butterfly just made with a piece of paper and a toilet roll, painted the toilet roll, and then attached the wings afterwards. By folding the paper in half and cutting the shape of the wings, you get 2 identical wings until you make your wings too long and it can't stand on the toilet roll, which I did yesterday. But you can do all sorts of amazing things with it. So the children can really go to town using anything that you've got in your scrap box. Ideal is to, when you're shopping in the quick and easy shops, when you see anything that is looks like they can use and it's on sale and it's $1 or $2, collect them, keep them. I keep all of them in little boxes, or if it's a bigger thing, I keep them in my toilet. Let me grab one that's not full, not too full anyway. I keep them in my 2-liter milk containers. They're wonderful. You cut an opening at the top. There's my opening, and I can feed all the things I want into there. And then they stack on top of each other, very easy to see and take out when you want them and pop them back. So that's a lovely way of storing and again, using your waste. Butterflies, bees, bugs, grasshoppers, you name it, you can make some of the most amazing creatures. You do get the very, very tiny little balls. You get the big ones, and then you get very tiny ones as well. And those make the dots on the eyes. So they really are great. Those are the ones I use for the top of the little house, these tiny little balls. And of course, on the spider's nose, very tiny. Right. Anybody got any ideas, anything they'd like to say about insects? Children love insects.
Do you have any cats?
I used to have cats, but I'll actually think about doing a cat. Okay, I'll write that down and I'll come up with a cat.
I love
Yes.
cats. I love cats.
I'll come up with a cat.
And my cousin loves cats. The one that's
Well,
afraid
it doesn't like
the one that's afraid of germs loves cats.
I'll come up with cats. I'll come up. We can actually probably change some of the other animals that we're getting to now, particularly the little tiger. I think we could turn him into a cat. Let's have a look and see. Now, we've got some of the wild animals, some of the fun animals, dogs. You could certainly make that dog into a cat. There's actually probably a cat in the back row. The middle one in the back row could certainly be counted as a cat. You've got pigs, you've got elephants. You can the children just let their imagination go. If they want to make a crocodile, you just cut a nice big piece out and add white teeth with white paper. You've got your crocodile. Simple, easy, and such fun for the children to do. They so enjoy making these different animals. And if you're not sure what they've made, just ask them what sound it makes. That way you don't make a mistake and they don't get upset that you thought it was a lion and it was actually an elephant or it was a pig. I learned very quickly in life, ask what sound it makes or ask where it lives. Ask a few questions. You don't have to ask just one. They'll very quickly tell you about their animal, and from that you can find out what animal they are actually doing. So that is always a fun thing to do. More animals that you've got, you can do using feathering of paper to make the feathers on a bird. The little tiger down at the bottom, he could definitely be turned into a cat with a little bit of imagination, a little bit of pointy ears for the cat instead of round ears, the little face, and put some little whiskers on. You could, and with its little paws, you could certainly turn it into a cat. But I'll make a cat in the next couple of weeks, and it'll be part of what I'm doing. I will investigate. We can also do farm animals using quarter of a toilet roll or half a toilet roll, depending on the size animal you want to make. And you can make dinosaurs. Those boys or girls that are into dinosaurs, just cutting your roll to make long necks and short necks and whatever you need to do. You just twist it and turn it, and it turns into an amazing animal.
I think I've seen one done with to make a mouse that was cute.
Oh, I'm sure there are all sorts.
I think
Every
I've seen
time,
that one
every
done.
time, yeah, every time I go looking for new ideas, I change my presentation because this idea came up and, oh, it looks so much more interesting. So out goes that one, in comes something new. But that's just my nature. I will never stop changing and doing things. It's just how I am and what I enjoy doing. So here you can also make your animals so that they're not only standing up this way, they can also be standing this way on legs, like the elephant or the dinosaurs. It's entirely up to what they want to make and how they want to make it. Space. Now we're getting into an amazing time of space. Space, you can use your rolls, tall rolls, short rolls, fat rolls, thin rolls. You can launch your rockets. There are wonderful ways of launching the rockets. If you join my moving toys, you will find there are amazing ways to launch rockets and safely so that you don't hurt somebody else along the way. You can build your rockets using pegs and toilet rolls, 3 pegs at the bottom. This is a deodorant lid at the top. Sky's the limit of how you make your space rocket. 3, 4, 5 rolls, depending on what you're wanting to do. They love, the boys particularly love space, love to do things with space. They can use their Lego inside their rockets by just cutting part of it out. So you can see he's on this level, he's on this level, he's on this level, and he's gone. And so they will come up with all sorts of stories to go with their particular rockets that they make. So really, there are some awesome things you can do as rockets. Now, before we do that, any more questions about children's things to do for children?
I was just going to say one thing. I can't go get it now, but I've used again those net bags that you get from Tangerines, as stuffing it in the bottom of the tube. For a rocket, it looks like the smoke coming out the bottom.
Of course it would.
And a red one is particularly good for that. My grandson was the one who thought that up. So it's really fun.
Oh, yes. Now that is fun. Yes, indeed. And of course, if you then add an elastic band and a little way of launching it, you'll see this red rocket taking off into the sky. What an amazing thing. Because when things move that they've made, then it just suddenly has all that extra impetus. All the things they've been making now, they can physically move. Their butterfly can fly, their things can go. But there are amazing ways of getting things to go. Now we've got me time. This is our time. There are lots of beautiful things you can make with your toilet rolls for yourself, or your roller towels. If that's what people want, they can do it with their roller towels as well. The first thing that I have put across here is just taking your toilet roll and cutting pieces about that size. And then what you do is you fold it in half, squeeze it flat, and then you push the one end in, keeping the other end out, and you end up with a heart shape. And then you can put one heart in, one heart out, one heart in, one heart out. Put your tea candle in the center, and you've got a beautiful thing for each person on the table where you're having a few friends for dinner, or even as a small gift for somebody. It is so pretty and so simple. Again, I always do my painting with a sponge. It's easy to paint inside and outside using a sponge. If there is a little bit where you can't reach with the sponge, then I use a paintbrush, and away we go, just to catch that last little bit. All right, thanks, Mumsy. Yeah, beautiful ideas. Now, most people think a toilet roll has to stay in the shape of round or oval, rectangular, or whatever you make. No, you can take the toilet roll and cut it into pieces like this. Long, thin pieces. Well, it's round when it starts, obviously. There's your toilet roll. I just snip it up and then cut it. And you straighten out these pieces. These pieces can be used to make circles, to make twists and turns. You can, and when I want to make a tight one, all I do is take going down here, grab a peg and use a peg just to hold it in place for a little while. Once it's been in that position for a while, once you let go the peg, it actually stays in the position that you've done with your peg. So it's almost a form of quilling in a way. And so you can make round, what the picture frame is done using an old wire coat hanger to get my outer frame and my inner frame just cut with some wire cutters. And then that it gets then joined with together to make a lattice work using toilet rolls. You would never imagine that that lattice work was just toilet rolls, but it is. And the center is a toilet roll that's been cut kind of like that so that it's done. Yes, Marsha, what have you got there?
So, so I've done the same thing. I've cut them up and then intertwined them. And this is a necklace.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Intertwined toilet roll. Wow, that's beautiful, Marsha.
Or,
Wow.
or if you make it smaller, it's an earring. I put just wire on the top and put it through if you have pierced ears. This is
Wow.
just on fishing line. It's just like
On
the plastic fishing line.
fishing
that
line, on
You
fishing
know, you
gut.
can string it on
Okay.
a real necklace or whatever. But anyway, the kids love that to give presents to their moms. You know, it's
Mm,
just. And again, I'll
beautiful.
repeat that I use. I like your idea a lot of using the sponge, but I also like using. It's easy for them to use nail polish to make a decoration on top of the paint.
Yeah, I've never thought about that. I think that is a lovely because it's also shiny. So it
Yes.
also gives that extra glitter and glow to it. Yeah.
At the dollar store, you can get like cheap, you know, I don't know
Uh,
that I would use it as
for
nail polish.
yourself, but the kids, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
kid's nail polish that comes off in a day,
yeah,
literally. Yeah,
yeah.
but it wouldn't come off that because it's not
Oh,
being washed and cleaned. That's a lovely idea, Marsha. Thank you so much for sharing it. It's
sure.
really, I will now go and look at things like that. It's a lovely idea. Thank you. All right, now you've also can take a mirror, or you can take a clock And then all you literally do is join. I've made one here just so that you've got an idea. You join your pieces together. So that's like the one that's on the side is just a picture, but you can keep joining them together to make your circle around your mirror or your clock. I've done a mirror with my granddaughter. She loves her mirror. She painted her pieces and then we glued them together and put them on the mirror. It was a rather tatty looking plastic edged mirror, and in the end it looked stunning. And she's still got it in her bedroom now. And about 3 years ago we did it, but it's still going strong. So here is just how simple it is to put the pieces together. You can put them on the wall next to your door just as a decoration. You can put them around something to make it as a decoration. And it is so attractive, and you can make it the color that suits your room, your time, whatever you are doing. You can also create a lamp, and this lamp is the simplest lamp in the world. I hope what have I done with my piece? Ah, there it is. Got so many pieces here, I've got to find them all. It should be longer. I have cut this short because I was using an extra toilet roll for something. You would obviously keep it a little longer than this, but all you do is cut it away all the way around, big, thin, small, fat. It doesn't have to be exact. And you flap it open. And then you take the next one and you attach them. What I did was you can use a basin to get a shape. So you would put one and then I started at the bottom and I built my way up round the bowl. From the bottom of the bowl upturned bowl, and put them on until I'd made a ball. And then it was very easy to finish it at the top and not make it too closed to put your light in. You hang a light down and just a single globe. It then is a diffused light. It's not a very bright light when it's finished. All right.
Is that the one on the bottom that's gold?
Yes, it is. Yes.
And did you glue the pieces together?
Yes, I glued them together, and I used a glue that would not melt, because although your light is not that hot, I didn't want something that was going to get soft.
Right.
So I used a more of a putty glue that was going to stay hard. So I needed to know my pieces were in the right place. And then once I was happy with the piece, then I would put the glue on and glue it to the next one.
How do you put your light inside? Do you leave a hole?
Yeah, at the top. At the top, you leave a hole, sort of about so size hole, so it's very easy for a globe to be placed in and out of it. And then I just took some string to pull it to the light, to the dangling wire, and I actually just tied that so that when I wanted to take it off, I could just pull the string and my ball would come down. I could replace my globe, put it back up and tie it.
Brilliant.
So it works very well indeed like that. Mumsy says she uses macaroni and spaghetti around her mirror and sponge paints them. Yes, that would also work very nicely, Mumsy. I used to do that at school as well. That was a lovely thing to do. And the last one is the box. I'm not going to talk about the box yet because that's one of your takeaways, is how to make that box, and we'll do it right at the end. We're almost at the end now. We're getting through. This is our last thing. These are roses made out of toilet rolls. Wow. I do give you the patterns for this so that you can make them. But who would ever have thought that that was a toilet roll? It really is stunning. Mine are in the process of being made. They are a little fiddly. And I haven't had that much time in which to do it. So I do it in between other things. But mine are slowly getting ready to be completed, and will be completed in Probably the next week I'll have made my first rose. I did a few years ago, I made them, but left them in South Africa. You get different types. You get the ones with the wavy, I prefer the wavy edge, but you also get the straight edged roses as well, and the sort of daffodil type flower that can turn into a really beautiful daffodil, depending on what color you paint it. So that is, again, something completely different that you would not expect to find in a out of a toilet roll. And for me, if you paint them different shades of pink, because you put your petals together slowly, so you can actually paint each petal. You can paint some a darker pink, a lighter pink. You can shade your petals. And by shading your petals, you'll end up with this really magnificent flower with its different shades of color. So that's an experiment that you can play around with. But I do give you the pattern, so you can make your roses, because for me they are really beautiful. Any questions?
I have another example of jewelry. Using
Oh, good, Marsha.
Just a flattened one like this, just a flattened. And then if you just take I collect, whenever I go to a party, I collect, I don't use the cocktail napkins. I put them in my purse instead. And then I'll just glue it on there.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you obviously all can tell
look at that.
That I wear things that are unusual, but I would just use that as a, you know, as a necklace.
But that is awesome. It's so different, and it's a talking point. I think that's amazing. I think that's beautiful. I really do.
And it's just the flattened roll. That's it.
Amazing.
How,
I was
how do
thinking
how do you get that to be stiff?
Well, the roll, like I said, I put a piece of typing paper around the whole roll. And then I just took the thin napkin and glued the little pattern from it on the front part. That's it.
That was made from a toilet paper roll or just a piece of paper?
No. I took a toilet paper and flattened it like this.
Oh, okay.
And then just covered it with a piece of regular typing paper.
Oh.
And if you look carefully these days, some of the toilet rolls have white centers. This one is one of the white center ones. So you then don't even have to put something around it because it's white. I now go and look for the white. They are a little firmer though. So if you're wanting to flatten, they're not as easy to flatten as the others.
That's lovely.
That is so nice, Marsha. Well done. I love you coming into class because you always come with such gorgeous ideas. So thank you. Much appreciated indeed.
She's an artist.
She is. And she's got such unique ideas. That's what I like. It's things that I don't see everywhere else. And it's so awesome. Thank you, Marsha. Much appreciated. Right now.
I learn a lot from you.
Oh, good. I'm hoping to at least give you one or two ideas. This is the most simple gift box of all. All you do is you take your toilet roll, you flatten your toilet roll, just flatten it, flat all the way. In fact, I only flatten the ends because I don't particularly want the middle to be flat necessarily. And then all you do is push the top part in. You push in one side, you push it in, and it goes in. I thought it wouldn't when I first started making these. You push it in, and then you push your other side in, and it makes a closed end of your box. And you do the same on the opposite side. When you want to put something in, you open, put what you want to put inside. Maybe it might even just be a sweet or some small jewelry you want to give somebody, or the sky's the limit. And then you close it and you decorate it. I have
what kind of paint do you paint with?
Acrylic.
You use acrylic paints? That's always what you use.
Yeah, I find that it's better than watercolor. Watercolor goes to see-through. So I use acrylic paint, and then I used pens that non-running permanent markers, so that it doesn't run through the paper or the card. I found those at the local stationery shop, so I use those. And then you just decorate it. You put some ribbon on it or some jewels on it, or you put wrapping paper around it if you're going to make it into something that there's so many beautiful sticky papers that you get for the children to cover their books with. And I've from my grandchildren, I've snaffled all their paper once they'd done their school books for the year. I take all the paper and I say, no, I'll just keep it for you till next year. And I've got my nice supply of sticky paper. Sometimes it's only a little bit left. Sometimes there's a bit more left. Doesn't matter. You don't need a lot to be able to do these kind of containers. You can also, if you're wanting to have a fun container to put things in, you take your toilet roll, you cover it with paint it or cover it with sticky paper, and then using a milk bottle top. Milk bottle top fits absolutely perfectly into the inside of the toilet roll. So that then makes a perfect base so that when you lift up, the things don't fall out the other side. So that makes your base of your toilet roll, and your base, and you can then put pens, pencils, your brushes for your face that you're going to do. In my tin can one that I do, there are some wonderful ideas that you can use. Again, using either toilet rolls, tin cans, depending on the width that you are wanting things. But I will be showing you how to do that as well. Works wonders. It really is beautiful when it's finished. So there are so many ideas as to how to put things together. Right, ladies, I'm going to stop sharing and then I'm going to ask, where's she gone? Mumsy. Mumsy, you have some things you wanted to show us from your screen that you have photos of. Would you like to show them to us now? There comes
Hi,
Mumsy.
Sue. I've actually
Hi.
got it on the wall.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I'm going to show it to you from my camera.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, I don't know if it will work.
Oh, yes,
Can you
I can
see it?
see what yes, I can see what you're doing there. Now, what are those done with?
These sandals. I live on
Yeah,
the beach. I
right.
live on the beach, so they tongs.
Thongs. Oh, wow. Look what you've done with your pigs. Pig string shells. Wow. Those are done with pigs. Yeah. Oh, look at those fish. Those are awesome, done with sticks. What
Yes,
lovely
and this is the shell
ideas. Look at that. Welcome shell.
with the butterfly.
Those are awesome, Mumsy. Those
What
are
And this
really,
is a-
really beautiful.
What are you using?
This is
for
the
the
anchor.
Is that done with cardboard, your anchor?
Yes.
Oh, and that is beautiful. And shells
And with the string as well. And
string
these are
and
just
cardboard.
pieces of material that I also collected. That's the clock.
Oh, wow. Look at that. What's that made out of?
That's a clock and just shells.
Clock and
that
shell.
I
Oh,
picked up.
sorry, you need to just move a little bit to your right. There you are. Now we can see it. Wow, look at the shells around the clock. That is beautiful.
Wow.
Goodness me, that has been turned into something really special.
And
Great,
this
Mumsy.
is my masterpiece. All made with shells. Can you see it?
It's you need to just go a little closer for us. Oh, wow, it's a table.
Yes, it's a table with the mirror, all made with shells.
Wow, I collect shells, but I would never have thought of doing that with them. That is amazing, Mumsy. Wow, you have certainly been busy. Look
This
at
is
those.
another one.
Oh, you've disappeared for a second. Wow, that that is amazing. You really
And I must
have
just show you my butterfly.
Wow, look at those done with shells. Those are really, really beautiful. Thank you so much, Mumsy. That
Thank
is
you.
given us all lots of ideas to think about. Well, has
Thank
anybody
you.
else? Has anybody got anything else they would like to say? Because wow, we've been inundated with ideas from everybody today, and that is awesome. Mumsy and Peggy and Marsha, your ideas and your thoughts have been really great. Thank you. They've
Sue, I just wanted to tell you, I don't know whether I should thank you or not, but I have, since I can't remember which of the classes, but I have been making boxes
the box class and the paper and tin box.
non-stop,
Well, your first one that you made with that beautiful fabric on the top of sort of like dress from a magazine dress material,
it was from a
that was
catalog.
stunning. That was beautiful.
I
That was
probably
really
have
stunning.
100 of them because I do them when I'm on a Zoom call now. And somebody
great.
suggested the idea of, because I don't have enough presents to give, somebody suggested I hang them and make them into mobiles.
Why not? Why not? Lots of ideas with them. Well, I'm so glad you found a use
So
for
I
boxes.
love the boxes that you taught me to
Well,
make.
anybody wanting to make boxes, it's the tin can and paper class that has that in it. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Lester, for staying for the whole class. Much appreciated. And I hope you all have an awesome evening and that you are able to enjoy yourselves. And I look forward to seeing some of you again, I hope. Have a lovely evening. Bye for now. A nice day for you, Mumsy.
Thank you,
Bye.
Sue. I'm going for my walk now. Bye.
Bye.